Hi, welcome to Parts of Montessori, a series where I talk about my past, present, and future experiences in Montessori. I'm Bethany, a former Montessori student and now a Montessori teacher. Parts of Montessori is part of my online business, Parts of the Language LLC, where I sell digital and printable products and services for Spanish language learning and digital and printable products for Montessori environments. Here is the next episode of Parts of Montessori. In this one, we're talking about why do we go to school? As Montessori says in the second plane of development, it is the age of socialization and also the time when children ask why. If you are a teacher or a parent of a child this age, you know this is definitely true. Children want to know why this is or why that is. So many whys. One of the biggest whys I hear is that, why do I have to go to school? I was just having a conversation with my students about this, and it made me realize a few things. Why do we truly go to school? I'd say there are two categories. The main reason is to learn, and I tell my students it's broken down into category 1, to learn knowledge, and category 2, to learn how to be human. Let's talk about category 1, to learn knowledge. This is everything we need to learn in 1st, 2nd, and 3rd grade. This is math, language, and the cultural subjects. That breaks down even further into enumeration, time, money, measurement, geometry, and word problems, graphs, and extra concepts. For language, that is grammar, writing, reading, and word study. For the cultural subjects, that is history, botany, zoology, geography, and science. If you're interested to know more about all these topics and an exact scope and sequence of what to present next in all these topics, read about that at my website, partsofthelanguage.com. But for the most part, students understand that we need to learn these skills to get knowledge so that they can go to the next grade and beyond. For the most part, the students in Montessori environment have a strong level of learning and are pretty strong in their learning knowledge reason for coming to school. For category 2, it's learning how to be a human. I talked the students through their journey so far, so I say, you don't crawl anymore, but when you were a baby, you were learning how to be a human by crawling and exploring the places around you. You know how to use your words now, but when you were a baby, you would cry to communicate. You know how to hold a pencil now, but when you were a toddler, you were learning how to hold things. You now know how to write all your letters and numbers in the early childhood class, but now you can write those letters and numbers to write words and solve math equations. So if you are learning to be human with all those things, what are we learning to be human with now? My answer to that is learning how to be peaceful and respectful humans. This conversation usually comes about because in a 6 to 9 classroom, emotions run high, and since it's the age of socialization, everyone wants to be everyone's friend. But it's very hard to manage emotions when things start to hurt others' feelings. So just like when we say they have mastered certain math topics, we can say that there are different things to master in each age and how to learn how to be peaceful and respectful humans. Our goal with this is to end up being a leader by the age of 9. Or they should have been a leader at the age of 6 in the early childhood classroom, but that's a different type of leader for each class. Here's how I break things down. For the age of 6 to 9-year-olds, what I want them to be able to do is raise their hand. When in a group presentation, you must raise your hand in order to say something. Listen the first time. If an adult in the room asks you to do something, you must listen the first time to complete the task. Paying attention. When in group, pay attention only to what is being presented. Do not be distracted by others. Focus on their work or task. During work time, you should be working. If someone distracts you, you should say, I am working. In place of saying you were distracting me, keep the words focused on yourself and keep your hands to yourself. By the age of 8 and 9, they should have mastered all the things listed for ages 6 and 7, but then also work on the 8 to 9-year-old leadership. That's start to work to be a leader, helping other students with their work. Walk, talk, and act with respect and be a good model. Keep area tidy. Notice when things are out of place or out of sorts and fix them. You do not need any reminders to do these things on the list that you had for 6 or 7 or 8 or 9 to be a good leader. How do we get students to follow these checkpoints? As a teacher, we remind our students what to do. This could be with our words or with our hand signals. For example, raising a hand when a hand needs to be raised instead of verbally saying it. You could also have students practice them in group where the focus is just on these topics. For example, pull out all the chairs and try to walk around them and not trip for the skill of pushing in your chair. Sit in a group and everyone talks to each other. And then the skill is to raise your hand, have a student present something, and have the other students talk over them. That skill is sitting quietly in group. Work, but have students distract each other, and the working student tells the other student, I am working. For those examples, they could go on and on forever, but this helps the students truly see that these actions could annoy others, and in turn, they can learn how to fix their actions to be a better leader in the classroom. Overall, we go to school because we have to learn knowledge and how to be nice, peaceful, and respectful humans. Of course, this episode is sponsored by my own business, Parts of the Language, LLC. Please sign up for my free Montessori hub of resources that you can use in your Montessori environments. There are over 15 plus items, including 453 printable math equation cards, 36 weeks for first and second level editing sentences, and so much more. Thank you for listening. Bye-bye.